Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. Today's video is a special one because we take a look at 3 Grand Prix of the Americas and combine, compare and decide which track of the United States is the best one within MotoGP 23. So coming up first today, we take a look at the fantastic American GP. It is the Laguna Seca circuit. Now, I absolutely love this track and have done for many years. This circuit was one of the very first tracks I ever completed a 100% race on. Not just in MotoGP 23, but in any other game. It was actually in MotoGP 08. I first tackled a 100% race with Nicky Hayden at this circuit in MotoGP 08 at Laguna Seca, and honestly, I have loved this track ever since then. I think it's one of the best circuits in the world, and no matter what game you play on, it's always pretty solid. Now, I know what you might be thinking. If you've seen my track ranking video, I discussed how the AI's performance is of this track, and I said it wasn't very good, so it didn't get very high on my list. But if we're talking just track, just bike, just physics all together, then this makes a wonderful circuit to race on, whether online, in time trial, or even just with a couple of mates mucking around. It is absolutely magnificent, this track, and we're talking today about how it works in MotoGP 23, and of course with the pickup effect of the motorcycle, with the fact that you can't really maneuver the bike as well as maybe some of the arcade style of MotoGP games, or even Ride for that matter. It still works tremendously well, and I think that's a testament for how good this circuit is in the Californian place of America, the district, state, or I can't think what the term is, but yeah, I really love this track. I think it's absolutely magnificent. No matter what bike you use, the Honda, the KTM, the Ducatis, the Yamaha, the Aprilia, it always feels so solid around here. The only one gripe is, of course, you can't use the Moto 2 or Moto 3 machines here in this wonderful circuit, and I would have loved to try a Moto 3 bike around this circuit. Even the other intermediate class in the former Moto 2, it would be absolutely magnificent. So let's take a look at a few points here of Laguna Seca whilst I run a couple of laps. One of the 2 things we have to look at immediately is the nature of these corners here in the Laguna Seca track. You have to look at the corkscrew. I don't even think you have to be a racing fanatic to know what track this is by looking at a photograph of the corkscrew. I think every man and his dog who has ever played a racing game will have seen this circuit. Whether that's Gran Turismo in the early days, whether that's MotoGP, Ride, Forza, anything that will have this track in it, you must have played it at least once or twice. It's fantastic. It's so iconic, and it's probably one of those circuits that I wish would make a comeback, but I don't think it's safe enough for. Especially going into the corkscrew, the size of the motorcycles nowadays, the speed, the power, it's probably not so safe. I'm not sure how it works. I mean, it works for AMA, I do believe, Moto America, I think. I've not watched Moto America in quite a long time, so I'm not entirely sure on that, but I do really love this circuit, and I feel tremendously positive about Laguna Seca in this game. Now, of course, this isn't just a clear-cut Laguna Seca victory for the MotoGP 23 test that we're doing here today. We've got to take a look at a few more tracks, but initial thoughts, I do love this track. I think it's fantastic. Of course, let me know in the comments section down below what you think. If you feel that one of the other 2 tracks are better, then be sure to let me know in the poll that I have set up, which will be launching at the same time this video arrives. So yeah, let's finish one more lap of Laguna Seca before I gush completely about the US GP circuit, and then we'll move on to the magnificent second track. I'm going to say a lot of adjectives in this one because there's some great tracks in this game. I really do like the American tracks compared to the likes of Ride. I can't say the same. I think there's a lot of bad tracks over there, especially US tracks, and they certainly have the best ones here for MotoGP 23. So into the left hand side, this is turn 11. Wait for the power, wait to get across the line, and then we will start taking a look at the second track. So the next track to grace our presence here today is the US circuit of Indianapolis. Now, of course, this being a circuit that's not been in the MotoGP calendar since around MotoGP, maybe 2012, 2013 possibly. I'm going to say 2013. I do believe that was the last time we've seen this wonderful track. I could be completely wrong there. I didn't quite do my research for some of those points here today, going on pure instinct. And to be honest, I had this video idea a couple of days ago, and I was just so excited to do it that I just jumped into it here today, just full of passion and energy, as you know me, just wanted to talk about these wonderful tracks, and of course, more importantly, get your opinion about the three of these circuits. But before we digress, let's talk about the Indianapolis track. First and foremost, a lot different to Laguna Seca. A much flatter surface. There's not any undulation at all compared to the ups and downs and the roller coaster-esque like feeling of Laguna Seca. This is a more standard flat track. Compare something like Portimao to Qatar. That would be the difference between Laguna Seca and Indianapolis. So I've got to say, again, as I mentioned earlier with Laguna Seca, the AI in this track are fantastic. They offer great action, great sort of fights and battles, unlike Laguna Seca. But I'm not going to rate it from that here today. I want to rate it purely from feeling, aesthetics, looks. Well, that's the same thing, but you get the point. Just general fun. And I do really like this circuit. I had a great couple of races here with the Aces. I think we've tried having a flag to flag, which unfortunately didn't work because the retro circuits don't have the flag to flag capabilities within MotoGP 23. But I did a wet race here. I've done some live GPs in the past here as well, which I don't think I recorded. And I just think it's really fun. It's one of those circuits that if someone's saying, do you want to do Indianapolis? I'm jumping on it straight away. No if, whats, buts, maybes, questions or qualms. I'm happy to do Indianapolis whenever that time might arise. And I think, you know what, now thinking about it, using Digi Antonio here today, using the Ducati works wonderfully around here. I'd like to do another race around this circuit in a couple of days' time. I'd love to give it another try against the hardest difficulty AI and just absolutely go for it. Full send, as I always see in the Ace comments down below. And of course, if you are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I certainly hope you'll indulge me and have a bit of a vote on the poll to see what is the best American track within MotoGP 23. Now, not really said too much about the circuit apart from the positives, and of course I would say all three of these tracks are positives. I wouldn't really feel that maybe there's any particular negative in the first two tracks we've looked at. The more historical circuits are, in my opinion, probably the better tracks. But I will say the feeling of this bike around this track is beautiful. I like the fast-flowing corners, and with the pickup effect, a lot of people don't like it. I absolutely love the pickup effect. I think it's one of the best things they've added into MotoGP 23, or into any MotoGP installment. The feeling of around these corners is that you've got to be patient, you've got to be relaxed, you can't get onto that power too early, and I feel that makes me a better player, because I will be more patient, I will be more relaxed on the acceleration, I will not press that throttle quite as aggressively. Prime example, turn one here, just gradually bringing the bike into the left hand side there, bringing it into the apex of the next corner as well. Run it a little bit deep, bring it in a bit tighter as well. It just feels so good. Really like this track. It's completely flat, the surface is fantastic. Temperatures do get really high. I think that's quite evident now by the hard front in the bottom right corner of your screen. I will tell you, online your front tyre is destroyed, but I really like it nonetheless, and I think it's one of those tracks that even if the tyre is completely gone, you've still got quite a lot of grip, there's quite a lot of confidence, you don't need to worry about it, so put that to the back of your minds and keep on charging and pushing to the maximum here in Indianapolis. So I got a little bit off the circuit there. I actually felt like I didn't pick the bike up quick enough there as we went into our third and final lap of today's Indianapolis time trial session. So yeah, into the right-hander with the Grassini Ducati. Wonderful combination. Went a bit deep there though for the right-hander into turn 11. That's cost us big time, but here, perfect example. Being gentle on the throttle. Just take a look in the bottom right corner of your screen. Just get your eye towards that screen, and you'll see how gentle the throttle is. Works to my style to perfection. I love this track. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So guys, that is Indianapolis, and that is our second track of today's video. So let's get across the line and move on to our final track of the evening, which is of course the Circuit of Americas. So of course we're using Marc Marquez for USA, of course we are, it has to be done. The man who has won multiple times here since 2013 and only twice has failed to feature not on the podium but to win the race as well. So here we go then, boys and girls. What do we think about the Circuit of the Americas? I think this track is very much a black sheep for the US track, and what I mean by that is that everyone seems to love USA as Laguna Seca, they seem to love Indianapolis, but this one's a bit interesting. You know, there's a lot of mixed opinions about this one. I really love it. I think it's a polarizing circuit because of the way people have a opinion on it, but I've actually begun to really love it now. I could tell you now, even in the track guide I did not, well, the track ranking video I did not so long ago, and even before then, I didn't really have much love for this track, to be honest. And I didn't have much love for it in MotoGP 22, 21, and since its first introduction back in 2014, 2015, 2013 it would be, because Marquez is first, yeah, so honestly, I really like this track now, but if you had asked me 10 years ago, I'd say absolutely not. I didn't like it at all. The interesting facts are, of course, just the hard braking zones which we're about to approach to now for turn 12. The middle part, of course, that very early sector where you're flipping and changing the bike dead quickly. You'd think it'd be a nightmare with the MotoGP bikes in MotoGP 23 with the pickup effects, but honestly, after you've done it a good couple of times, it begins to feel really natural, and yeah, I've completely flipped my opinion on this track. I really like it. Could I say it's the best track in the game for racing in MotoGP 23? I don't think I could. I think I've still got to give the edge to the likes of Laguna Seca and Indianapolis. Again, judging the AI, not for today's video, but I do rank it from that in the previous video, and I felt like the AI here are not good enough. It's very easy to disappear away from them. In the lower classes they do get a bit more interesting, but of course it's not fair to compare the lower classes to Laguna Seca and Indianapolis, since the intermediate classes cannot take part within MotoGP 23. So, thinking about it, I'd have to say I would probably maybe do it in the order of today's video, or a joint tie between Laguna Seca and Indianapolis. It's really difficult for me to decide, but what I can say is that I really like all three tracks in this video here today, and I can't believe I'm going to say that, because I used to hate this track, I really did. But going into turn 5, turn 6, you see here that flowing nature of the track and the flowing nature of the bike. Feels a little bit heavy and sluggish with the MotoGP machines, but it's natural with the way the bike picks up on the acceleration and just the way it moves. But it's one of those tracks that, if you get this right, it feels immensely satisfying. Getting a good lap time here means the world to everyone. Laguna Seca is also very similar. It's not as long, it's about 30 seconds shorter, maybe 40 seconds shorter now I think about it, but you have the corkscrew, which is incredibly difficult to tackle and get it right. Indianapolis, the whole circuit, is a very challenging circuit because of how flat and how flowing it is. Mess up one corner, you mess them all up. Here in COTA, you can sort of mess one up and catch it up in the next couple of braking zones, but it's a really unique argument, so I don't think I can make a decision. I'm going to leave it for you guys. I want you guys to tell me what you think is the best track of the United States within MotoGP 23. I'm taking the high ground. I'm sitting on the fence. I'm not prepared to stick my neck out. I feel like Laguna Seca, Indianapolis slightly edged this one, but I just find it too difficult. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments section down below, and let's talk about it within the comments section down below. And of course, also, big inspiration for this weekend, the Circuit of the Americas is arriving, and we will be watching, I hope, incredible action. I really do. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I still believe that Jorge Martin might get the job done. A lot of people think this man on the screen will get it done, and of course I've heard that Pedro Acosta will probably win every single race now till the end of MotoGP, or at least the end of his career. So we'll find out what happens this weekend. But guys, thanks for watching the video. I certainly hope you enjoyed. If you did like this one and you liked something different, let me know in the comments section, because of course got a lot more creative video ideas coming soon. And upon that note, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.